about to rip this Doom video a new one. So sit back and enjoy and watch the main man do his thing. I'm just being stupid. So as always, a couple of announcements before we begin. I'd like to get that shit off the table right at the start. Number one, a response to comments video is coming on the Doom video part 1. I'm just giving it some time to let the comments build up so that I have something to respond to. So don't you worry and keep commenting all your thoughts and stuff like that on that first video that you might have. If there is a good correction in there in my response video, I will correct myself. And if there is an argument I disagree with, I will tell you that you are full of shit and why. Number two, if you are watching this video and you have not seen part 1 of this series, and you don't know anything about the Doom series, the Doom lore, or whatever, you might want to check out the first video I made, part 1, because there I go over everything you need to know about the Doom series so that you can understand what exactly these heroes are going up against. You can still watch this video if you want, but you might be a little fucking confused. Just something to be aware of. That's it. Enough wasting your time. Let's get started. And first up on the chopping block is Time Splitters, and this fucking sucks. I love Time Splitters. I don't want them to fucking die, but that's exactly what's going to happen. When I added them to the list, I hadn't played this game in like 10, 15 years. So I didn't quite remember exactly everything that they were capable of. So I did have to do a little bit of research. And as I was researching, I realized that this universe is the first one I've done in this whole series that gets like negative points in terms of how good they're going to do. They wouldn't even do as well against the demons as our real world Earth. It's that fucking bad. Now, does that mean that this universe is weaker than our real world Earth? No, it doesn't. It is stronger, but just let me explain. So how strong is the universe? Well, the guns are strong enough to fight against machines, and we know that because in like 2300 or 2200, I don't remember the exact year in the game, they had the machine wars where people had to fight against a bunch of big ass robots. Their guns are capable of damaging the robots. Sergeant Cortez, the main character, who's the strongest character in the game, is also capable of punching the robots to death. That's it. That's their biggest strength feat, is that they can fight against beings that are made of metal. As far as physical strength and destructive power goes, that doesn't even put them on the same league as like the weakest of the demons. All demons can like rip through metal. That's not a fucking special thing in the Doom universe. That's a very basic feat. If you can't rip through metal in a Doom universe, you don't fucking belong here. But their physical power is not the reason why I thought they would be a good addition. The reason I thought they would be a good addition is because of all the crazy time bullshit. So in the universe of Time Splitters, there are these creatures called Time Splitters, and they're basically these alternate dimensional beings that are capable of traveling to any time period, any dimension they want to, across the entire multiverse, and basically they just want to eradicate all of human life. So Earth takes a faction of their military, specifically a Marine faction, and basically says, okay, you guys' whole job is to fight against the Time Splitters. So they got a bunch of these things called time crystals that allow them to travel through time, and they give it to the Marines, and then the Marines can basically travel at any point all across history to fight against the Time Splitters. That's essentially the story of Time Splitters. So every level of the game, Sergeant Cortez goes into a different time period to try and deal with whatever the fuck kind of issue is going on there, usually having to collect a time crystal because the Time Splitters really like stealing that shit. And that's the game. Sergeant Cortez has a couple of cool powers. He can use telekinesis with this little fucking computer thing he has on his wrist. He has a bunch of futuristic sci-fi guns, although admittedly not particularly out of the box. They're pretty basic guns. They're literally just called sci-fi guns, like sci-fi machine guns, sci-fi shotgun, etc, etc. He can fight against ghosts and other beings that you normally can't touch with the ghost gun, and he's very physically skilled in terms of being like just a good soldier. So the reason why the Time Splitters universe is so fucked, even more so than our real world, is because they have the ability to open up these portals all across time and do it often. So one of the rules in the Doom universe about how the demon invasion works is that they cannot invade any universe unless they are physically invited there. And how they are invited is that someone opens up a portal to hell. Once that portal is open, they now have access and they can teleport anywhere within that universe at any time because you just gave them access, basically. Hell exists outside of time and space, and the demons themselves are timeless beings. This is shown quite a few times in the story. Things like the Cyber Demon in Doom 2016 hunting down Doom Guy, wanting revenge for their previous fight, despite the fact that they haven't previously fought in this timeline. They fought in a totally different timeline, so he really shouldn't even remember their fight, but he does because he's a timeless being. They interact with time very differently. Anyway, the reason why the Doom Demons always appear on Mars first at the particular time that the UAC is trying to open up portals to other worlds is because that is the point in time where they are invited. That is the only time that the demons have access to in the Doom universe. So in this video series, I always try to have it so that the demons come to this universe when that universe is at their peak of power. The problem with the Time Splitters universe is because they're constantly opening up holes into other dimensions and other time periods. That means whenever I say that is the strongest point with the Time Splitters universe that the demons have access to, they will also automatically have access to any point in time within the Time Splitters timeline, basically. You can have demons just appear in front of fucking Mayan Native Americans or ancient Egypt because all of the Time Splitters universe is connected via portals through time. Essentially, the Time Splitters time travel that would normally be such a good thing for their verse to help them survive because they can keep traveling back in time and altering events actually hurts them against the demons, because since the demons are timeless beings, they will see what's happening in the Time Splitters universe across all of time, and Sergeant Cortez will not be able to go back in time at any point and change events so that the demons aren't aware of it. They will see every change in time that he tries to do, and every time he does open up a portal farther back in time, that will give the demons access to that point as well. And the Time Splitters themselves have absolutely no limit to what time period or dimension that they can travel to. If a single one of them are taken over by the corruption and turn into a demon itself, that will give this power to the demons. Demons will now be able to freely go to any universe, any dimension, any time period of any universe they want to completely freely. So basically, them being introduced to the Time Splitters universe will make the demons infinitely more dangerous because the one limiter that they have will be completely fucking gone. The Time Splitters universe is completely fucked. Due to all of their time shenanigans, they have absolutely no chance in hell of ever possibly winning. There is literally no argument that could be made for them. Their guns aren't strong enough to take out even the weakest demons in the verse, and they will not be able to use any of their time travel shit without giving the demons access to all points of time within their fucking universe. How could they possibly win? They can't. They're fucked. It sucks. I know. Next up, we have Mass Effect. Boy, oh boy, I haven't talked about Mass Effect in a long time. Not since I made that video about how racist it was and how that was awesome. I should probably explain that a little bit and give more context to that statement, but I'm not going to. Anyway, I've had some conversations with people about this before where people have told me that Mass Effect is one of the weakest sci-fi universes possible. Like, they're not even capable of traveling at light speed with their ships without help of the mass relays, which they didn't create. Those were created by the Reapers. And just overall, they're pretty fucking weak. But that's only if you just play the game and don't really read into the lore and what all those crazy abilities you use actually do. Because when you actually see how the technology works, it's pretty goddamn impressive. Well, at least comparatively to what it originally seems. So just to give some examples, those mass relays that you see that allow ships to drive into them and travel at light speed, those mass relays are inside of all of the guns throughout the entire Mass Effect universe. They're literally called mini mass relays. And the lore states that every bullet that is fired passes through this mass relay and travels at near light speed. It doesn't say light speed, but honestly, it doesn't even matter. Even if it was, 10% or 20%, that's considerably faster than the guns of pretty much any other universe, unless you're using a light speed laser type weapon. But no, these are like bullets, metal bullets, that are traveling at near light speed every time they fire it. That on its own is pretty fucking good. But then you add on top all the crazy biotic abilities, and then it gets even better. Like Singularity, which allows them to make a gravity field that basically sucks in all enemies and just fucks them up in this weird gravity distortion. Or all the different ammo types that exist within the world, like disruptor ammo that is specifically designed to destroy any sort of kinetic shields, or inferno ammo that burns so hot that it burns through any substance that exists within the Mass Effect universe. You have warp ammo that disrupts gravity and is made specifically to shoot through gravity fields, which, by the way, biotics can create. They can create gravity fields around themselves as a sort of shield. Basically, anything that comes near them gets pushed back by this incredibly intense outward push of gravity that comes off their body. All the crazy tech and hacking abilities that they have, which, by the way, unlike Cyberpunk that I talked about in my last video, is shown being able to hack into things that do not have a wireless connection. So they can hack into basically any machine. They can hack into your fucking toaster if they wanted to. There really is some good shit in the Mass Effect universe that can help them being invaded by many different types of demons. Not the Doom demons, though, so it's a real shame that that's the one they're up against. Now, while it's true that all this stuff is pretty good against a normal enemy, I just kept running into instances where they just weren't that useful against the demons. The main ammo type that is meant to go through flesh in the Mass Effect universe is Inferno ammo. That's the best ammo you can use. Hot enough to burn through anything. Steel, diamond, you name it. Well, the problem with that is that the demons are super fucking hot. Not like fine or sexy. I mean like they're physically very hot. They're shown walking through a pool of magma on multiple instances. And the vast majority of the demons in their ranks have Argent energy flowing through their veins, which is hotter than that magma. So they have a very, very high heat tolerance. And I just don't see Inferno ammo doing all that much damage. At least not the same amount of damage that it would normally do in its own game. That goes the same for things like radiation ammo, because the demons are filled with radiation from the Argent. You have things like the biotic shield, which sounds really great in principle, right? It has this gravity field that pushes everything away. Even bullets that are flying at near light speed are not capable of getting through this field, except for the fact that the gravity field only works on things that are traveling really, really fast. It is specifically designed that way and has to be, because if it just repels everything, then it would repel things like air and oxygen. Again, this is written in the lore. If you walk up to someone and punch them in the face, even if they have a biotic field around them, you're gonna fucking hit them, because your fist isn't traveling fast enough for that biotic field to register it as a threat, or, you know, a life-ending threat. This means that the vast majority of the demons who use melee attacks will be completely unimpeded by the biotic fields. You're essentially wasting your time even having it. Now, while I do think a lot of their arsenal is basically made useless against the demons, there are some things that are still good. Like the fact that bullets travel that fast means that you pretty much damn well guarantee they're probably gonna go through the demon's flesh. That's just a massive amount of force to put into that small of an area. On top of that, the demons that do have energy shields around them, those energy shields can be taken care of with the Mass Effect Disruptor ammo, which is meant to take out energy shields. But the problem with that is that the vast majority of demons do not have energy shields, so that's only going to be helpful in very specific instances, like going up against the Doom Hunter, in which case you're going to have way bigger problems. And the demons are shown capable of continuing on and fighting, even showing no pain from getting all of their fucking flesh and muscle torn off. They can basically just be a fucking skeleton with bare minimum amount of muscle and still move around trying to kill you. So even though those bullets are going to damage them, it's not going to do enough surface damage to chew away at all of their organs and skin and flesh to the point that they just can't move anymore. In Doom Guy's guns blow these motherfuckers to pieces. And while the Mass Effect universe has some guns that are capable of doing that, the vast majority are machine guns, shotguns, pistols, things that just don't have that much destructive power. Even if they're traveling at near light speeds and they're going to have a lot of penetration ability, they're not going to explode these motherfuckers from the inside out and blow them up into enough pieces that they will not be able to still come at you. And this isn't even counting units like the Titans, of which they have a fucking army of, or the bosses, or the Icon of Sin, or any of the really higher ups who could essentially solo the entire universe by themselves. So let's back up a bit. I always send these demons at the point of the story that they are at their most strongest. So what is the most strongest point of the Mass Effect storyline? That will be the very end of Mass Effect 3, right before the Reaper invasion, when Shepard has spent 3 games building up tons and tons of allies, preparing the galaxy to fight against the Reapers. So the demons are going to invade before the Reapers get there, but after Shepard had already built his army and brought the entire galaxy together as one massive fighting force. So we've already covered that when the demons show up, they're going to fucking eradicate all of the races. And they're going to do it in a very small amount of time. So the question becomes, how are the Reapers going to react to this? Well, the whole idea of the Reapers is that they come into the galaxy and eradicate all life once that life gets to a certain point of technological advancement. Then they leave, wait a couple more 1,000 years, allow the lower species to evolve to the point that they reach that level of technology as well, and then they invade again. Well, the demons have technological advancements far superior to that of the Mass Effect universe. So when the Reapers are outside the galaxy looking in, seeing that all of these people that they were about to attack and murder has reached the level of technological advancement that we're not comfortable with, are being wiped out by another race that is significantly more advanced than them, they're gonna want to come in and wipe them out as well. Except that they won't really be able to. The Reapers are shown being able to be taken out by big enough space lasers or aerial bombardments. They're basically just big ass fucking robots, or like a starship. They're not really that impressive. The most impressive thing about them is the indoctrination that they can do, which we see affect the Elusive Man, but the Elusive Man's indoctrination took over 2 years to actually start seeing the effects of. It's a really fucking weak indoctrination, and the corruption from the demons is significantly more powerful. There is no reason whatsoever to believe that the Reaper indoctrination will take over any of the demons, or that the Reapers will be alive alive long enough to even see that happen. The only thing that will be immune to the demonic corruption will be the Reapers and the Geth. And just like the organics in the Mass Effect universe, they're not strong enough to do shit. The humans of the Doom universe had weaponry that can blow a hole straight through fucking Mars. They were damn near a planet-busting race of people, and they still weren't able to overcome the demons. There is no evidence whatsoever that the Reapers are even close to that level of power. We haven't even seen them wipe out a city. The power level difference is fucking insane. Honestly, the best part of this matchup is seeing the Reapers, who see themselves as gods, come in to wipe out the lowly organics, show up, and then just see what real gods look like. And I kind of wish they had facial expressions, because I would really like to see the look on their face when they come in and a fucking Titan one-shots the entire army of them. Shit will be fucking beautiful. So anyway, to summarize, the organic races and the Geth are not getting past even the heavies, and the Reapers aren't capable of getting through the super heavies and are being completely wiped out by the Titans. It's not even going to be close. Honestly, no joke, I think even the basic fodder enemies Argent cannons are probably going to be capable of wiping out pretty much anyone in the Mass Effect universe. This is a pretty sad day for Mass Effect, not gonna lie. Alright, now up next we have Serious Sam. Boomer Shooter versus Boomer Shooter. The only real and true shooter genre. For Halo and Call of Duty Modern Warfare fucks the shooting game genre forever. Why the fuck is ADS even a concept? Why do I have to press the fucking look through the sights button every single time I shoot somebody? The whole concept of games like Doom and Blood and Serious Sam is that you're already looking down the sights. That's why the gun is right fucking there by your face on the screen. ADS wasn't a concept because it didn't make any fucking sense. Why would you run around a war zone with your gun at your fucking hip? Raise your gun up, you lazy motherfuckers. Your gun should always be up by your face. The concept of hip fire is fucking stupid. ADS is stupid. Fuck them. Anyway, how's Serious Sam gonna do? And this is kind of a strange one, because this is like the first one where the main character isn't actually the most dangerous dude. Look, Serious Sam Stone is a strong fucking dude. I mean, he's capable of picking up massive fucking cannons, like Revolutionary War cannons, and dual wield them, one in each hand, and firing them both at the same time, and just running around at top speeds, shooting fucking big ass cannons. That's crazy. How much weight is that? A lot. It's a fucking lot. It's a lot. Serious Sam is strong as shit, he's fast as shit, and he has some really kick-ass powerful guns. He's capable of fighting whole armies and wiping them all out by himself. Very impressive. But that's it. His only powers are enhanced physical ability. Speed, strength, durability. That's it. He doesn't have anything else. His guns are just these overblown, explosive, very powerful things. He's gonna need a hell of a lot more than that if he wants to take on the demons. And there's gonna be a certain point where his guns aren't even really gonna hurt the demons anymore. Don't get me wrong, his guns are really fucking strong. He's able to shoot fucking ships out of the sky and shit. That is impressive, because those ships have to be able to survive light speed travel across the universe, like sustainably, like casually take that amount of force. So I'm sure his guns will be able to harm all of the ground troop demons. They're not hurting the fucking bosses though. The bosses are superior to Titans. Titans are larger than skyscrapers. They're so heavy that when they fall and hit the ground, the weight of them landing causes untold miles of destruction. And these basic little bitch boss dudes who are like, I don't know, what's that, 10, 12 feet tall, are stronger than them. Their Argent energy cannons cause the cells of anything it hits to explode individually, all their cells at the same time. Not only is Sam shown to not have any resistance to this whatsoever, but he doesn't even have a real way of healing. Once Sam is hurt, he stays fucking hurt. One hit from one demon is gonna fuck him up. Several hits over the course of several weeks of fighting the demons is gonna eventually kill him. And some of those hits from the higher up demons are just gonna straight up kill him in one hit. But that's okay, because as I said, Sam's not really the end all be all here. The end all be all is Mental. So if you've never played the Serious Sam games, the villain of the game's name is Mental. And he's from a race of beings called the Humta, I think. Humta? Am I getting that right? I don't remember. It's a fucking weird, like Middle Eastern Egyptian sounding name. Anyway, this is a race of beings that are these all-knowing, all-powerful, omnipresent beings that each ruled over its own galaxy. They're basically considered like gods of the Serious Sam universe. And they're all dead. We never find out why they're dead, but there's only one left. And that's Mental. Mental is one of these beings that goes across the entire universe, enslaving and destroying all life that he can find, building his army and continuing on. And, you know, he's a big-ass fucking conqueror super life-ending threat. That's like the whole thing. And he is a threat on a galactic scale. Now, you're probably wondering, why the fuck doesn't Serious Sam scale to his own villain Mental? Because he's never fucking seen Mental. He's never fought Mental. All he's ever done is talk to him. We, as the players of the game, have never seen Mental. He's a villain that throughout the entire franchise of Serious Sam has only sent people to kill Sam and has not come himself to deal with him directly. Having said that, he did do a pretty fucking good job. By the time Serious Sam 3 comes out, humanity is fucked. There's only a couple of people still alive. The entire world is a fucking wasteland. And the humans that are left over actually have to use time travel to go back in time to try and essentially get a second chance at winning the war. Basically, Mental's the strongest motherfucker in this universe, and he was capable of overcoming the heroes of the universe. So he's the one that's going to stand the best chance at fighting against the demons. Now, how good of a chance is he going to stand? Outside of Mental himself, whose best feat is telekinetically throwing the moon into the earth, most of his troops are pretty fucking weak. His army has all different kinds of stuff. I mean, he has mastered magic and technology and has given it to the troops underneath him that follow him and enhanced their powers significantly. The problem is that the technology and the magic within Serious Sam is pretty fucking basic. Serious Sam himself was able to take on and defeat the most powerful magic wielder in the entire universe. And all that magic wielder really was able to do was throw some lightning bolts, summon some monsters, fly, teleport. Just really, really basic shit. Magic in the Serious Sam universe is like the most basic spells you would get in any RPG at the very start of the game. They're not impressive in the slightest. And you can kind of go down the list throughout the entire Serious Sam franchise and look at all the bosses and say pretty much the same thing. Some of them have telekinesis that they could throw shit at you. Some of them can create like illusions. Some of them can teleport. Some of them throw projectiles. But none of it is anything that a roided out guy with a gun can't, outshoot. Now, there are a couple of bosses that are really strong just in terms of how fucking big they are. Like, they have massive, massive enemies in this game. There's a whole race of aliens in this game that are around this size. But for one, Serious Sam is not actually capable of taking them down himself. He needed a bunch of C4 strategically placed at different points on the creature's body, as well as a mech suit to fight against. I mean, there's a whole fucking army here helping him fight him. And also, this monster just isn't all that powerful. I mean, you're gonna give him a certain level of power just based off of his sheer size. Sure, of course. But he shoots lasers and, has telekinesis and other different types of blasts. That's really all we see. It's not like the Titans from Doom, who are stated to be able to destroy planets and universes. It's a completely different level of power. So how will an invasion of the Serious Sam universe go? Humans are getting wiped out. Most of the alien races are getting wiped out. Mental's gonna be there being like, okay, I'm gonna just keep sending people. And then eventually he's gonna realize, you know what? I might be in trouble. I gotta deal with this personally. Then he's gonna do some shit like throwing planets or moons or some shit at the planets that the demons are on, thinking that that'll deal with the problem, and maybe it will. Maybe he'll destroy a couple of planets with demons on them and kill them. Cool. But it's just a matter of time before the Titans and the Icon of Sin show up, or some of the demon lords, and then he's fucked. Because throwing a moon isn't all that impressive to them. As far as all-powerful cosmic beings go, again, this one's kind of funny because in Mental's universe, he is like the most powerful peak level thing. He is a god. So powerful that he doesn't even feel a need to bother with this little Serious Sam asshole who's been killing literally thousands of his men. And while he's sitting there being all fucking arrogant and shit, he's gonna think the same thing about the demons. And then when he sees what real gods look like when they show up in his world, he's basically gonna be that little bitch that gets fucking backslapped by them. And then the look on his face is gonna be fucking hilarious when I see, oh, maybe you should have taken this shit a little more seriously. I don't know, guys. I just like to see arrogant bullies get bullied. Look, say what you want about the demons. I know they're bad guys, but they're not these arrogant, smug bullies who believe that they're so much higher than every other person. They're just fucking warriors, man. They like to conquer. So watching them overcome bullies, just it warms my heart. It really does. And last up, we have Earth Defense Force. And I think we fucking did it, guys. I think we finally found the universe that's gonna bitch slap most of these fucking demons. So if you never played Earth Defense Force, I don't know what the fuck you're doing watching this video. Go play it. Go. Leave. Now. Get up. Now. I'm not even gonna continue the video. Alright, gone. Okay, let's talk about Earth Defense Force. So Earth Defense Force is about the Earth Defense Force, and basically it is an alternate Earth where aliens invaded and they did all kinds of fuck shit. They started attacking humans, experimenting on our insects and turning them into these giant fucking monstrosities. And the whole game is about throwing as many fucking enemies at you as humanly possible as you're just this one lone Earth Defense Force officer trying to, well, defend the Earth from this alien invasion. And the game's got everything from giant insects to aliens to fucking kaiju to massive spaceships and everything else. It's a really fucking fun game. But to be more relevant to this video, they're also powerful as fuck. Every single basic trooper of the Earth Defense Force is capable of leveling an entire skyscraper with a single shot from one of their explosive weapons. Their rifles are capable of knocking spaceships out of the fucking sky. They can take down kaiju and all manner of other skyscraper-sized monsters. The weakest enemy type, the literal first, like the rat of the RPG game for Earth Defense Force, is a fucking ant that's the size of a semi-truck. You have any idea how strong a fucking ant is? It can lift 100 times its own body weight. An ant that's the size of a semi-truck, even if we take the weight of a small semi-truck, which is only about 10,000 pounds, that's still 500 fucking tons. That's 1,000,000 pounds. The Earth Defense Force officers survive getting picked up and thrown around and chewed up and spit out by these giant fucking monstrosities, and they're the starting enemy type of the game. And then, like, not even a third of the way through the game, you end up going to their nest underground and seeing a bunch of eggs, and the ants start hatching out these eggs, and you realize these motherfuckers we've been fighting are babies. The actual full-grown ants show up, and they're like 6 or 7 times bigger than the fucking baby ones you've been fighting this whole time. So, multiply that 500 tons by 6 or 7, and you get like 3,000 fucking tons, or 6,000,000 pounds. Again, these are the early game enemies. It just gets more insane after this, and any basic bitch unit of the Earth Defense Force is capable of fighting against them. They can shoot down flying saucers and massive fucking damn near city-sized ships and all manner of other stuff. This might be the most powerful basic soldier unit that even fucking exists in gaming, and that doesn't even take into account the structure of the world that they've made in Earth Defense Force. This is a world that is constantly just suddenly invaded by aliens and has just sudden giant kaiju pop out of the ground and attack. So the entire planet has to be completely covered in soldiers and military bases at all times, ready to respond to all this crazy shit that happens. Anytime something happens, they are on site immediately to fuck with it. The version of this Earth that exists within this universe is just built for fighting off invasion. So, can it fight off the demon invasion? Yes, the fuck it can, up to a certain point. The basic demon enemy types do not stand a chance against the Earth Defense Force. They are way too fucking powerful. Every single trooper in the Earth Defense Force, which, by the way, there are so many, because the Society of Earth Defense Force is built in a way that they need so many soldiers to essentially police the entire world at all times. So a large portion of the human population goes through school and high school and all that with the sole goal to eventually join the Earth Defense Force. It's a large army, and every single one of them could fucking level city streets with a couple of shots and tank hits from fucking kaiju and giant space laser weapons. They're gonna mow down these demons like it's not even a problem. Let's get this off the table immediately. Most of the fighters aren't really even gonna be able to hurt them. The only ones that will are the ones that use Argent energy weapons. You're gonna have to get to the demon heavies before you even find a creature that's capable of legitimately harming them. But even then, I don't think it's gonna be any more dangerous than any of the basic bitch ant enemy types that exist within the game. So then you're gonna have to go up to the super heavies, and this is where you're actually gonna start seeing a challenge. But even then, the challenge isn't gonna be anything that the Earth Defense Force hasn't already fought against in the past on several occasions. It's really not until you get to the bosses that now the Earth Defense Force is gonna start having a problem. Because again, the bosses excel past the Titans. The Titans have no issues with leveling whole cities with just their own weight, not even actually applying any force to it. While every basic soldier is capable of leveling a skyscraper pretty easily, they're not leveling a fucking city. They have to call in massive airstrikes and shit like that in order to do that level of damage. But even saying that, these airstrikes are not going to kill the bosses. They might hurt them, but again, that whole destroying untold miles with your weight thing that the Titans do, that's just them falling, and that's just basic Titans. That's not even the biggest ones, and the bosses excel beyond them. I think the Earth Defense Force is going to have a really hard time putting any of the bosses down. Now, they do have the benefit that there isn't really that many bosses. If you name them all together, you get like less than 10. With enough time and just throwing enough troops at an individual boss, maybe you can kind of chip them down until you eventually take them out. It's possible, but then you kind of have bigger problems. The Earth Defense Force does not have any hacks whatsoever, not even a little bit. It's all just big ass explosive guns, which means they have no resistance to things like the corruption. They have absolutely no way of stopping the demons from coming back to life because they just go back to hell and rebuild their bodies when they die. And they really have no way of permanently ending the demonic threat. The Earth Defense Force has really never faced anything like this. Their own soldiers will start being corrupted and turning against them. And while they'll mow through the vast majority of the demons, there are demons within Hell's ranks that they just don't stand a chance against. Like the bosses, like the Icon of Sin, like Davith, like the Demon Lords. As I said before, the humans in Doom who fell to the demons did have the ability to blow a fucking hole in Mars and destroy moons and do all that kind of shit. And the Earth Defense Force just doesn't have anything close to that. Their base low-level power is insanely high, but their highest top-tier power is nowhere near what the demons are capable of. So that and the fact they have no resistance to the demonic corruption means they will eventually be taken over by the demons, sadly. And that goes the same with the aliens and the kaijus and the giant insects that exist within the Earth Defense Force universe as well. They'll all start getting corrupted and joining the demons' ranks. I do like this one a lot because I think they're definitely going to put up the biggest fight out of anyone we've gone over so far. But it's going to take a very specific kind of universe with a ton of hacks and physical power in order to take down the Doom universe. And that's going to be all from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and join the membership. Remember, you get videos early if you join the membership. And always remember, y'all stay safe out there, you hear?